Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the May 12th meeting of the Aiken City Council. If you're inclined, please rise for the invocation followed by the pledge. Almighty God, our Heavenly Father, send down upon those who hold office in the city of Aiken the spirit of wisdom, charity, and justice, that with steadfast purpose they may faithfully serve in their offices to promote the well-being of all people. In your name we pray. Amen. Chief, would you lead us in the pledge?
Good evening, Mayor, Council. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before the meeting begins, I will review our guidelines. Meetings are public forums in which many opinions are expressed and the business of the city must be conducted. As such, disciplined, honorable, and professional decorum is paramount. Courteous and respectful communication is required. During public meetings, all questions and statements from the public shall be directed to the chair. If you wish to speak, raise your hand and I will recognize you. Please approach the podium and state your name and address. In order to allow an opportunity for everyone who wishes to address council, speakers should limit their comments to the subject being discussed. Each speaker will be given 5 minutes to address an issue and may only address an issue once unless questions from council are posed to the speaker. During the non-agenda public comment section, each speaker has 3 minutes and can only speak once. We now move to additions and deletions to the agenda. I recognize Mayor Pro Tem Ed Girardeau for this agenda item.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everyone. Glad you got your boats out and got here. Been enough rain, but never fear. I think the forecast is for 90s next week. So in Aiken, just stick around and you'll get something different than what you had the previous week. We're going to get that. All right. There are no additions or deletions to tonight's agenda. So, Mayor, I present this as a motion.
Thank you very much. Is there a second?
I'll second, Madam Mayor.
Councilwoman Broll, second the motion. All in favor? Motion passed. It's unanimous. The minutes were provided to council for review prior to the meeting. Is there a motion for approval of the minutes, please?
I so move.
Is that Councilman Diggs? And a second?
I'll second.
Councilwoman Broll, second the motion. Any comments or changes? All those in favor? Thank you. We have 5 presentations this evening. The first is a presentation by Brownie Girl Scout Troop 1417 on their Wonders of Water journey. Will the representatives please come forward to the podium? Good evening.
Good evening. Just wanted to say thank you for having us this evening. Myself and the other co-leaders are very proud of these young ladies for coming up with this project. Did you all receive a copy of the flyer in your packet? Perfect. Okay. I just wanted to give you a brief bit of information about our journey. So each level of Girl Scouts has different journeys that they can travel on, per se, during the Girl Scout year. So this year, these young ladies chose what we call the Wonders of Water journey. So they learned about saving water, the meanings of water throughout history and things like that. So I'm going to let them speak a little bit about their project.
Uh-oh.
Hi, how are you this evening?
Good.
Need a box.
We
Need a box.
need water. Water is a basic human right needed by all people in the world. 1 in 6 people in the world don't have access to clean water. Less than 1% of Earth's fresh water is drinkable. Do you need to find clean water? Check out these locations or in cooling stations in Aiken County.
Idle Week Center, Smith Hazel Center, Leslie B. Prince Senior and Youth Center.
Wow.
Walking Tall Ministry, Aiken County Public Library, Aiken County YMCA. Take short showers, run full loads in the dishwasher and washing machine, turn off faucet when brushing teeth.
We're very grateful to these partners listed on this flyer for participating in this project with us and for allowing us to list them on this flyer. The next step in their journey is we have reached out to some of the coordinators of the Blessing Box program. So we have some water bottle label stickers that will be placed on water bottles with all of this information, and then also a QR code sticker that will be going in some blessing boxes. I was amazed at how many blessing boxes we have in Aiken County. In our one little troop, there's no way we could fill all of them. So that is the next step that we will be doing. I just also wanted to mention to you all that we really enjoy using the Girl Scout hut. On any given week, there's at least 3 meetings or events there at the Girl Scout hut. So earlier this spring, United Way came and they cleaned up the grounds and gave us some new solar lights and a new door lock. So we're very grateful. So thank you all very much.
Thank you. The next presentation is an update on the Aiken County Museum. Miss Dee Dee Waters, will you please come forward? Good evening.
Hi, how are you?
We are
Yeah.
fine.
Gary, are you going to be able to? Oh, I'm going to change it. Well, that'll be fun. I don't always jab well with remote controls. So, in fact, I usually just give them. How are you? Good to see you. It's just simple. Okay, simple. It looks like you guys have a healthy agenda, so I'm going to try and keep this brief. But for those who don't know me, I think I know most of the ones on the council, but for the sake of the audience, I'm Dee Dee Waters. I am Aiken's appointee to the Aiken County Historical Museum. So I'm the commissioner, actually appointed by Andrew Siders. We were all tasked as commissioners to get out in our communities and update them on what's going on with the museum. And that's what this slide shows about. But like I said, we'll keep it pretty brief. One of the things we were thinking, or one of the things that have come to our attention, actually, is that folks who are not in Aiken but are from Aiken County kind of get upset thinking because this museum is in the city limits of Aiken that it's more representative of Aiken. So for you guys, I mean, we don't have to worry about that. But my brethren who are out there presenting in the other areas, this is something that they're trying to just educate their local city councils and town councils about, okay? So just so you know what's going on, this is the mission statement. And of course, I think all of you pretty much know what the museum does, so I won't read that to you. But here's some interesting statistics about the museum. As some of us know, it's Banksia. It is 17,500 square feet. That is a lot of property to try and keep up in a very old building. So a lot of times we're tasked with begging the county for more money for things like roof or to deal with a mold issue in the basement, all sorts of things. But that is what we do as commissioners. We maintain the property, okay? I'm not the executive director. Thankfully, I don't have to worry about the exhibits. But we maintain the property and we assist when it comes to hiring. So there are 32 current exhibit themes. They're interactive. There are 5 outdoor structures. Some of them I like better than others. It's a running joke that if the transit of Venus ever goes missing, we'll just say. Beautiful gardens maintained. We're trying actually to see if Ruth Patrick would like to take that on. I think it would probably be better placed there. But beautiful gardens are maintained by local garden clubs. I used to be a member of the Garden Club of Aiken, so the beds out there are done by volunteers. We have 4 rental spaces and a gift store. This is the last point is a little confusing, I think, funded by the Friends of the Museum. The gift store is funded by the Friends of the Museum. We have different things around the museum that the Friends pick up, and it's a collaborative agreement between the nonprofit and, of course, the county. Okay, tour guides. Is she still here? Is our Brownie leader still here? Mary Rosbach does double duty. She's not only here for, I should let you give this presentation. What's your actual title, Mary? So this would be her slide. I'm bad with titles, but that's what Mary does now for the Aiken County Historical Museum. There are always field trips, programs, scavenger hunts, there's spooky haunted museum, programs and outreach, family fun days, trunk shows, events. There's always something going on. It's rare that I ever go up there for a meeting or drop by that there's not a horde of people up there for one reason or another, and that is Mary's job. She does fantastic. She's also in charge of making sure we all know what's going on with that big building since she's in it every day. And like I said, it's always an issue when you have a building that old. We preserve, we rehouse and stabilize for long-term preservation. And this is actually interesting because there are a lot of folks that think that whatever they've collected throughout their lifetime should be meaningful and should be housed in our museum. So sometimes we have to give out some bad information, and they would like to see this, what they have spent so long collecting for us to keep. We had a gun issue one time, which we did not take, and the gentleman wasn't very happy about it. So this is not as easy of a job as you would think. People like to just drop stuff off, literally, and leave it on the doorstep and then have us deal with it or have the staff deal with it. But they do. They go through and they catalog what is important. What do we need to sell on Facebook Marketplace? Where do we need to rehouse? Would this be more appropriate someplace else? So that's a big part of what the staff does. And then they collect oral histories. This is huge because there are so many people here in the county that know so much about Aiken, but they just don't have the time or the inclination to write it down. Or maybe some of them can't. I mean, we still have people who can't read and write, right? So we're collecting oral histories for the Recollections program. And then, of course, we have the artifact storage in the North Wing Annex. Service. We talked about earlier, not everything that they want to put in the Aiken County Historical Museum belongs there, but part of that is partnering with other fellow museums to find out, is this appropriate elsewhere? Because some things are valuable, but there's only so much. We can't become a gun museum, right? Maybe we need a few for the World War II collection, but we can't take everything someone wants to give. But we still find value in that. So trying to find out a home, and then Mary can talk a little bit more later if y'all have any questions about the passport program. But that's partnering with fellow museums. We want them to go and visit, the museums here and around the state. We share knowledge on YouTube channel and social media, and then we have community rentals. I'm sure you've been up to the museum. I've been to weddings there. When I was with the ballet, we were always up there for the Nutcracker Tea. The museum is used so often by so many, and I think we just really fail to realize that and what a great space it is. Accomplishments. Did you hear, and if not, then we didn't do a good job of letting you know that Aiken County Historical Museum was rated or ranked by USA Today as number 10 out of 100 best museums for small towns. That's quite a feat. That's number 10. We host and reach out to nearly 20,000 visitors a day. The staff of the museum, they are all professionally trained. Like I said, you would not want me cataloging and figuring out how to preserve this stuff. If you saw my house, you would definitely not want me trying to figure that out. But they're willing to share their knowledge, and thankfully we do have people who know how to do that and do that well. And they're our staff, and we depend on them. And then, of course, we talked about Aiken County stories. The major exhibit themes, if you haven't been in, I'm not going to read these to you, but these are the themes. And we also, I talked about World War II, and we talked about military, natural history, all of that. But we're looking to add industrial businesses, transportation, and just the history of Banksia itself, right? It's been so many things. So The communities we service: Aiken, Montmorency, Windsor, Kitchings Mill, North Augusta, Hamburg, Langley, Bath, Clearwater, and Burnett-Town. I still can't tell when I leave one and go to the other one, which is not nice to see, but I can't figure that out. But Graniteville, Vaucluse, Warrenville, Wagner, Sally, Perry, Eureka, Beach Island, Jackson, and other displaced towns. These are, I mean, you know, we have Ellington. There was an Ellington before there's a new Ellington.
Right.
And then some of the exhibit themes and portions of Aiken's story that are in the exhibit areas. Obviously, we have the Charleston-Hamburg Railroad, the Summer Colony. We know about the Grand Hotels, the ones that we still have and the ones that we don't have any longer. Mary would like for me to highlight improvements and additions needed. Yes, we always are looking for ways we can improve and things we can add to the museum to make them more relevant to our history of the county. And then the portions of Aiken's story and other exhibit areas. So we touch in the military, education, businesses, public safety, natural history, sports, recreation, and religion. And we have a lot of great things to talk about, which is why we're number 10, right? But it's hard to house all of that and keep up with all of that, but we have a great staff that does. Some pictures. When's the last time y'all went to the museum, should I ask?
Not too long ago.
6 weeks ago, okay. If you haven't been in a while, go. The exhibits are always changing. We're always improving. And sometimes we even have traveling exhibits, so it's worth going. It's a great place also to rent for an event. And you can visit us in person or virtually. So do. I'm always amazed. I'm someone who truly did not take as much advantage of this. And I was put on the commission because of my love for historic preservation and being that a big part of that job is keeping up the building. But the more I've gotten in there and the more I sit in the meetings now and I'm like, wow, I didn't know that, right? And it's right there in the museum. So I am someone, I didn't want to put y'all on the spot, but I'm someone who really didn't take full advantage of all we have to offer. And now when I do have people come to town, it's one of the places I like to take them. And in fact, I made a donation to the museum because my daughter's wedding portraits were taken there. So what a beautiful and lovely backdrop. And it is right here inside our city limits. So think about that when people come to town. Know that we're out here. We are trying and striving and hiring the right people to make sure that all of our history is housed in one place and is available for all of us to study and enjoy. Thank you. Good luck with your agenda.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
There's just one meeting this month, is that right? Just know there's just one meeting in May. Y'all will be okay.
It's okay.
That's a
Thank you,
misnomer.
Dee.
But
Thank you very much. Next, we have a presentation for a proclamation designating May 12 to 17, 2025 as Salvation Army Week.
Okay.
Councilwoman Diggs, would you please read this proclamation?
Yes.
And if
thank you, Madam
Captain
Mayor.
Michael Good will come up, any other members, please come up to the podium.
Whereas the Salvation Army has been serving the people of Aiken, South Carolina for 98 years, physically, emotionally, and spiritually, and whereas the Salvation Army only business in this community of Aiken, South Carolina, as everywhere, is still human business, undertaken with joy for the family of humankind to the greater glory of God. And whereas the Salvation Army is present wherever need is greatest, especially during times of crisis, where vulnerable citizens are more at risk of becoming homeless, hungry, addicted, or spiritually tired. And whereas through sound, innovative, and professional services, the Salvation Army serves the people of Aiken, South Carolina with unshakable faith in all, no matter how desperate the situation, and views all people as people with possibilities. And whereas the Salvation Army acts on behalf of all the residents of our community with neither salvation nor any other condition prerequisite, nor expecting any thanks, yet nonetheless welcoming community support. Now, therefore, I, Teddy Milner, Mayor, and the Council of the City of Aiken do hereby proclaim May 12th through 17th, 2025 as Salvation Army Week in the City of Aiken and urge all citizens to join in saluting the steadfast men and women who bind up the brokenhearted and renew the heart of our community by their quiet service of compassion, in witness whereof we have caused the seal of the City of Aiken to be affixed this 12th day of May 2025, and it is signed by our Mayor, the Honorable Teddy Milner, and all of our City Council members. And we have a lot of board members here tonight. I'm so proud of our board. We have some very dedicated people with big hearts, and I want to come up to the podium as well. You need to be holding this.
Thank you very much. The next presentation is a proclamation designating the month of May as Mental Health Awareness Month. Councilwoman Gregory, would you read that for us, please?
Yes, Madam Mayor. We are going to read this into the record and present it at the next Mental Health Consortium meeting. Mental Health Month proclamation in Aiken County, South Carolina. Whereas mental health is essential to everyone's overall health and well-being, impacting individuals, families, and communities across Aiken, and early intervention and access to quality care are crucial for managing mental health conditions and improving quality of life. And whereas 1 in 4 American adults experiences a mental health condition each year, and everyone faces challenges in life that can impact their mental health. And whereas May is recognized nationally as Mental Health Awareness Month, providing an opportunity to raise awareness, combat stigmas, and promote mental health resources. And whereas South Carolina had 852 deaths by suicide in 2022, from 2018 to 22, there were 4,184 deaths by suicide in South Carolina. Approximately every 10 hours, a South Carolinian dies from suicide. or 2.3 people a day. And whereas there were 25,310 emergency department visits with suicidal ideation in 2022. There were 31,118 emergency department visits with mental health trauma in 2022. And approximately every 17 minutes, a South Carolinian is treated in the emergency department for mental health trauma, or 85 people a day. South Carolina suicide death rates by county from 2018 to 2022 places Aiken County at 4th in the state with a 20.8 suicide rate. In 2024, Aiken County had 39 deaths by suicide. And whereas in partnership with Deep Roots Research and the following data was developed. 2023 versus 2020, South Carolina had over 58% increase in self-harm calls, over 151% increase in calls for ages 14 and under, over 147% increase in calls for ages 75 and over 95% increases in calls for ages 65 to 74. And whereas people are seeking help and hope, in 2023 versus 22, South Carolina 988 call volumes tracked over a 14% increase in calls, over a 150% increase in text messages, and over a 15% increase in chats, and age 6 was the age of the youngest caller, and 89 was the age of the eldest caller. And whereas in 2023, the South Carolina Crisis Text Line documented that 46% of the texts were from individuals 17 and under. Over 49% were suicidal de-escalations, and over 42% were active rescues. And whereas the City of Aiken would like to thank South Carolina Department of Mental Health and its leadership for its steadfast advocacy and resources. In particular, Dr. Bank, Dr. Pollock, Debbie Blaylock, Melanie Gambrell, Lee Bodie, and their very own Tamara Smith, all mental health community advocates, and all of our distinguished guests at the consortium. Therefore, it be resolved that Teddy Milner, Mayor, does hereby proclaim May 2025 as Mental Health Month in Aiken, South Carolina, and calls upon all citizens, government agencies, and elected officials in Aiken to recommit our community to increasing education, awareness, and understanding of mental health, and the need for appropriate and accessible services for all people with mental illnesses at all levels.
Thank
Signed,
you.
Teddy Milner.
Thank you very much.
I did want to add, excuse me, next Tuesday, May 20th, from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m., there will be a Better Health Forum at Aiken Senior Life Services. Aiken Regional Medical Center is hosting free breakfast. We will have a nurse practitioner in psychiatry, and we will discuss mental health, mental illness, the stigmas, red flags to look for, a little bit of anxiety, depression, and answer questions. So if you have questions about yourself, a relative, a colleague, a friend, please come see us next Tuesday. Spread the word. Thank you.
Thank you. The final presentation this evening is a proclamation for Peace Officers Memorial Day. Councilman Brohl, would you read that for us, please?
Thank you, Mayor. It's my great honor and pleasure to read this proclamation. Whereas the law enforcement officers of our city and across this nation serve with courage, honor, and dedication in protecting our homes, streets, and communities. And whereas these officers willingly place themselves in harm's way to ensure the safety and well-being of others, often facing uncertain and dangerous circumstances. And whereas Peace Officers Memorial Day, observed annually on May 15th, was established by President John F. Kennedy in 1962 as a time for the nation to honor and remember peace officers who have lost their lives in the line of duty. And whereas we recognize the ultimate sacrifice made by these brave individuals and express our deepest gratitude to their families, fellow officers who carry on their legacy. And whereas the city of Aiken stands in solidarity with the families of the fallen and with all law enforcement personnel who continue to serve our community with integrity and selflessness. Now, therefore, I, Teddy Milner, Mayor, and the Council of the City of Aiken, do hereby proclaim May 15th, 2025 as Peace Officers Memorial Day in the City of Aiken and encourage all of our residents to pause in remembrance of all those officers who have given their lives in the line of duty to show support for those who continue to protect and serve. It's signed by our Mayor, Teddy Milner, and all of council.
Thank you. Could you all public safety officers come forward to accept this?
We'll stand right here.
Close rank. You have a new camera, Gary?
Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you, Gary. We will now open the floor to public comments on non-agenda items. Comments that are limited to 3 minutes per speaker and for a total of 30 minutes. Yes, sir, Mr. Kirk. Good evening.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council. You know, this, the proclamations kind of works right into what I normally talk about. First of all, my name's Kurt Johnson, 114 Brewster Way, Aiken, pastor, Lost Sheep Ministries. All three of those proclamations really tie into what we are doing. The Salvation Army works with us in finding rehabs for people. They also work with us in helping find shelter for people. The mental health part of this, we are working diligently with the Aiken Center and with Aiken Barnwell Mental Health. We are we are the boots on the ground, and they are coming back to us a lot more. So we are using the office space a lot more for that. The police officers, there's not much more I can say about them. They are the top notch. I've been on both sides of the law, and these guys, they are just the best. They treat people with respect, and with these people on the street, that's something that's needed. And they're not always the easiest people to deal with. So I am very thankful that we've got the police department that we have. Some of the things that we've got going on this week, we've got a couple people that are looking to go to rehab this week, which is it's always a joy to say that. We're getting more people off of the street. The ones that we're not getting off the street, we're getting them into tents. We're getting more people into the job market. We're getting more of them with their IDs, and we're being able to talk to more people. So these are major things that we're doing. Another big thing that we've got going on this week is that we have a Community of Faith luncheon this Wednesday. This is something that's been in the works for 10 years, but it's finally going to happen. And it's a lot of churches coming together that we're going to be able to discuss a lot of things that are going on in the city, not just for the homeless, but for the whole community. This is what the Hope Team is all about. It's about drawing all churches. We're shutting down the silos and opening up the community. So this is an amazing part of this city. So you all ought to be proud of yourselves, because you guys are the ones that allowed us to do our work. And we're very thankful, and I love your tie. So thank you very much.
Thank you for your comments, Kirk. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. I'm Sally Burns, Grand Prix Drive, Beach Island, Aiken County. I'm here as one of the many supporters of the Taj Aiken. I want to bring to your attention, I was at the meeting last week, and I left somewhat disturbed, and I want to make an appeal to those of you who are the electeds, who represent the voting public here in Aiken, and who represent the spirit of the community. Mr. Axie, Alok Kumar Axie, who owns the Taj Aiken, came to this center, to this council about a little over a month ago. And it was after a year in which he had been waiting for to receive his receive back his signed 5-year lease. And it was clear from what he said, it was very simple. He wasn't casting aspersions. He wasn't, blaming people. He wasn't naming names or calling names. He was simply saying factually that he had been mistreated. He didn't use those words, but that's the summary that I come away with, having read the presentation that he gave at that meeting. Excuse me, I'm sorry. So, and after that was reported in the newspaper, a rather remarkable thing, I think, happened, and that was that a petition was signed by something like 1,270 people. I may have been one of them, I'm not sure. Just speaking to the spirit of community that he represents to all of us, and the fact that he has a great business and is sort of at a disadvantage at this moment while you're moving into this very important moment to figure out what to do with the properties, including the Aiken Hotel. I understand that that's it's a very arduous thing to try to solve the sale of that property and get it developed. But I think it's important for the community to make amends, make recompense to Mr. Axie, and do it not passing it on and not saying, maybe the next owners will do something right with you, but rather to make it right with him now so that he can go forward in a way that he's looking forward to being the community member he is. And I apologize for going over.
Thank you for your comments.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Good evening, Mayor,
Good evening.
members of the City Council, and fellow citizens of Aiken. My name is Captain Michael Good, and together with my wife, Captain Malika Good, have the privilege of serving this community as the commanding officers of the Salvation Army of Aiken. And we've now been here for almost 1 year. It's hard to believe. I want to thank you today for your continued support of our mission and work in this city. For 98 years, the Salvation Army has been a part of the fabric of Aiken, serving without discrimination and responding to the needs of our neighbors in crisis. Each year, we assist over 10,000 individuals right here within our city limits through a wide range of services that provide both immediate relief and long-term support. Our shelter and soup kitchen, the only ones of their kind in our area, offer thousands of nights of safe housing and warm meals every year to men, women, and children facing hardship. But our commitment to this community goes far beyond food and shelter. Through our Ridge Shield Youth Center, which will be having its ribbon cutting this Wednesday, we're investing in Aiken's future, providing children and teens with a safe, nurturing environment, academic support, and character building programs. Our LifeNav program is helping individuals and families break the cycle of homelessness and poverty by walking with them towards stability in housing, employment, and life skills. And our Emergency Social Services program continues to offer vital assistance with food, utilities, and basic needs for those facing urgent situations. None of this work happens in a vacuum, and it's only possible because of a compassionate community and a city leadership that values dignity, safety, and opportunity for all residents. Your support makes our mission stronger. As we look towards the future and what is next for the Salvation Army here in Aiken, we remain fully committed to doing the most good for every neighbor who walks through our doors and for the greater good of the Aiken community we're so proud to serve. Thank you again for your trust, your partnership, and your shared commitment to building a stronger Aiken. Thank you.
Thank you so much. No more comments? Yes, sir. Good evening, Mr. Lex.
Lex Perry, 1526 South Boundary Avenue, Southeast, pastor of C4 Impact Ministries. Just want to give you a quick update. As you know, we've started our bridge housing, as I like to call it, because it truly is just a bridge to get from point A to point B, from the homelessness to a point of self-sufficiency. So we are coining that phrase because we want to let people know that this is not meant to be something that is permanent, but it is to get them to self-sufficiency. This month already, we've been able to help 2 people to get employed here in the community. It goes to the point to, as what you've allowed, as Kurt has said earlier, what you've allowed us to be able to do to work together as a community, because that's truly what it takes. Being able to talk to other business owners, showing what the jobs that are available, letting us work together in order to get people employed, gainfully employed at that. So these jobs are not just, we're saying, little side jobs or cash in there. These are W-2 employment. That's what we're looking for, and we continue to do that. So we thank for those. I want to thank those employers who are out there willing to hire, looking at our relationship together, and also just your continued support, giving the word out, letting people know what is available to them here in the community. We also do that through relink.org. We continue to add to that database so that it's easy for everybody to use. Anybody has any questions about that, obviously you can reach out to me at any time. I will make myself available. And I also invite you to come down to the bridge housing project that we have coming on. So if you want to take a tour of what we're doing, how it's working, and feel free, obviously, to talk to everybody that we're helping there as well. We're an open book, very transparent, but we want to make sure people understand what's going on and not get the wrong idea. So at any time at all, please come in, see what we're doing, and thank you again for all your support.
Madam Mayor, I have a question for Kirk and for Lex.
Lex and Kirk? Ms. Price, Councilwoman Price has a question for you.
You made a comment regarding ministers, the faith-based coming together. What date and where is that?
That's Wednesday.
That's the 14th, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. I think you were on that list.
Yes.
Yeah.
Neat.
Okay, I just wanted you to let the audience know.
And I'd like to know the location of the housing, the project you just mentioned.
316, 318 Greenfield.
Yeah, that's right. 316 to 318 Greenville Street, Northwest.
Yeah.
Thank
2
you.
blocks down from the Hope Center, what we call it, as we like to call it. It's
Sounds
right around the corner.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you all. We will move on. We need approval and discussion of appointees to various city boards, committees, and commissions. Mr. Beedenville.
Thank you, Madam Mayor and Council. For council consideration and public comment is the reappointment of Michelle Orr and Catherine Thomas to the Arts Commission, Tina McCarthy to the Accommodations Tax Committee, Phil Haggerty to the Building Code Appeals Committee, and Judy Sennett to the Community Development Committee.
Is there a motion to accept these nominations?
Madam Mayor,
Councilwoman,
I second.
Councilwoman Price and Councilwoman Diggs second the motion. Comments from the public? Comments from council? All those in favor? Motion passed unanimously. Are there any nominations to consider at our next meeting? Yes, Councilwoman Broll has one.
Madam Mayor, I would like to reappoint Ernest Saylor to the Building Code of Appeals Committee.
Yes, Councilman Waltz.
I have Brenda Taylor for the Senior Commission.
And I would like to reappoint Jill Thomas to the Equine Committee. Anyone else? Okay. Thank you. Next, we have second reading and public hearing of an ordinance to amend the concept plan for property in the village at Woodside. Mr. Beedenville.
Thank you. This is an ordinance amending the concept plan for property located in the village at Woodside. The applicant is requesting a concept plan revision for a mixed-use building at 226 Society Hill Drive, an area currently designated as open space, and on the current master concept plan for the planned development. This approved concept plan for the village at Woodside before 2023 showed a building on that parcel. However, the last approved concept plan designated it as open space, and the development, Silver Bluff Development, is requesting a return to its previous buildable designation. Since this is a development in the planned residential zone, a concept plan must be reviewed by the Planning Commission and approved by City Council. This proposed building should not cause any adverse impacts to existing streets, drainage, and utility systems, and elevations of the building have been submitted for review and appear to be consistent and compatible with surrounding development. There is no on-site parking, but it adjoins a shared parking lot and on-street parking on Society Hill Drive. The Planning Commission unanimously approved this request for revision of the concept plan, and council heard this April the 28th and approved it on first reading, and it is before you today for second reading, Madam Mayor.
Thank you so much. Is there a motion to?
Madam Mayor, I would like to move that we approve this
Okay,
request
Councilwoman Broll
to amend the concept plan.
I'll second that.
and Councilman Girardeau second the motion. Comments from the public? Any comments from the council? All those in favor? Motion passed. Thank you. Unanimous. The next item is second reading and public hearing of an ordinance to amend the concept plan for the Junction Shopping Center located on Whiskey Road. Mr. Beedenville.
Thank you. It is an ordinance amending the concept plan for property located near the intersection of Whiskey Road and Powder House Road, the Junction Shopping Center. This parcel was annexed in 2022 with a planned commercial concept plan. The request has been received from Quality Automotive Services LLC to revise this plan for development of a proposed oil change facility on a single building with on an approximately 1 400 acre out parcel adjacent to Whiskey Road frontage between the entrance drive and the adjacent Danbrook Village residential community. Since it is an amendment to the concept plan and it is in the planned commercial zone, it must be reviewed and approved by City Council. The Planning Commission at their meeting in April, all those present recommended unanimously it be approved, and it is before you for second reading. You heard this April 28th for first reading, and it is before you for second and final reading.
Thank you. Do I have a motion, please, to accept this?
So moved.
Okay. Councilwoman Price?
And
made
I'll
the mo-
second.
And Councilwoman Broll second the motion. Comments from the public? Comments from council? All those in favor? Motion passed. Thank you. Next is second reading and public hearing of an ordinance to annex property at the intersection of Pinecrest Avenue Northwest and Terry Drive and zone it residential multifamily high density. Mr. Beedenville.
Thank you. It is an ordinance to annex property located at the intersection of Pinecrest Avenue Northwest and Terry Drive into zone the same residential multifamily high density. The applicant and owner has requested annexation of this lot, approximately 2,600ths of an acre, to be zoned RMH residential multifamily high density, which is consistent with neighboring school and church uses. It will restrict residential density to a compatible level with nearby single-family residences, and multifamily residential is consistent with the current county zoning designation. All those present at the April 15th Planning Commission meeting recommended annexation, and council heard this on first reading April 28th, and it is before you for second reading this evening. And I did speak with the applicant early on, and he was very interested in annexing it into the city and has done other similar good projects nearby. So it is before you for second reading this evening.
Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Councilwoman Price.
I second.
And Councilwoman Diggs second the motion. Comments from the public? Comments from council?
I want to make a personal comment to the applicant, whose family has really invested themselves into this community, and it has brought enlightenment and excitement to the northwest side of Aiken. And just thanks to you and your family for the things you're doing. I had a great time with your mother a couple of Saturdays ago, along with about 30 plus other people. So thank you so much.
Thank you for your comment. All those in favor? Motion passed unanimously. Thank you. The next item is second reading and public hearing of an ordinance to annex 1009 Murray Court and zone it RS 15, which is residential, single family. Mr. Beanville.
Thank you. We do have an ordinance entitled an ordinance to annex property located at 1009 Murray Court and to zone the same RS 15 residential, single family. The applicant has requested this annexation of approximately 6,900ths of an acre and zone residential single-family RS-15, which is consistent with the surrounding uses and zoning. It is in the Gem Lakes neighborhood. The Planning Commission voted unanimously at their April 15th meeting to recommend annexation, and Council unanimously recommended annexing on first reading April the 28th is before you for second and final reading this evening.
Thank you. Is there a motion to accept this?
So moved, Mayor.
Councilwoman Girardeau made the motion, and
I'll
the second
second.
is from Councilwoman Gregory. Thank you. Are there any comments from the public? Comments from council? All those in favor? Ordinance is passed. Thank you. Unanimously. Now we have second reading and public hearing of an ordinance to annex 125 Vivian Drive and zone it RS-15, also residential, single family. Mr. Beedenville.
Thank you. It is entitled an ordinance to annex property located at 125 Vivian Drive and zone the same residential, single family RS-15. It's approximately 5,800ths of an acre. The requested zoning is compatible and consistent with surrounding single-family uses and zoning. The Planning Commission at their April 15th meeting unanimously recommended annexation and zoning RS-15, and Council approved this at their April 28th meeting is before you for second reading this evening.
Thank you again. Councilwoman Broll made the motion,
Yes, I move.
and a second from
I'll second.
Councilwoman Gregory. Any comments from the public? Comments from council? All those in favor? Unanimous, thank you again. The next item is second reading and public hearing of an ordinance to annex 783 Westover Drive and zone it RS 15. Mr. Beedenbrook.
Yes, and Councilman Waltz is recusing himself. He has property adjacent to this. And it is an ordinance to annex property located at 783 Westover Drive and to zone the same residential single-family RS-15. It is approximately 1/1700ths of an acre. It is requested to be zoned RS-15, which is compatible and consistent with surrounding single-family uses and zoning. And all those present at the Planning Commission meeting voted unanimously to annex it and zone it RS-15. Council heard this and passed it unanimously at your April 28th meeting. It is before you for second reading this evening.
Thank you. And a motion without Councilman Waltz. So I need one from someone else.
So moved.
Girardeau.
Please.
And a second from
I'll second.
Councilwoman Broll. And comments from the public. No comments from the public, comments from council. And all those in favor? Unanimously passed. Go get Councilman
Yes.
Waltz, thank you. Lex. Next item is second reading and public hearing of an ordinance to annex 118 Linwood Drive and zone it RS-15. Mr.
Thank you. It is entitled an ordinance to annex property located at 118 Linwood Drive and zone the same residential single-family RS-15. It is approximately 2/5 of an acre, and we are recommending annexing and zoning it RS-15, which is consistent with surrounding single-family uses and zoning. The Planning Commission at their April 15th meeting unanimously recommended annexing it and zoning it RS-15, as did City Council. You unanimously approved it April 28th. It's before you for second and final reading.
So I need a motion again.
Madam Mayor, I'm going to move on this. I think my district grew by quite a bit tonight. I think there's 4 on the agenda that are
Would you
annexing
like
into
to have
District 3.
You be the motion, the first motion?
Yes, I'll do the motion.
Okay, Councilwoman Broll and Council.
I'll second it, though it's not fair. I only get one.
Councilman Girardeau, second the motion. Comments from the public? Comments from council? All those in favor? Unanimous, thank you. The next item is second reading and public hearing of an ordinance to annex 121 Linwood Drive and zone it RS-15. Mr. Beebe.
Thank you. It is an ordinance to annex property located at 121 Linwood Drive and zone the same residential single-family RS-15. Again, 2/5 of an acre. The recommended zoning is consistent with the surrounding properties. The Planning Commission at their April 15th meeting unanimously recommended annexing it and zoning it RS-15, as did City Council on first reading April the 28th. It's before you for second and final reading.
Thank you. I need a motion from this for this as well.
So moved.
Councilwoman Gregory.
I'll second.
I thought I'd give you a break.
Thank you.
Thank you. Comments from the public? Comments from council? All those in favor? Unanimous, thank you. Next is second reading and public hearing of an ordinance to annex 122 Linwood Drive and zone it RS-15. Mr. Beedenbrook.
Yes, it is entitled an ordinance to annex property located at 122 Linwood Drive and to zone the same RS-15 residential single family. I will only say this is identical to the prior to, with the exception of the address, and the acreage is about 3/800ths of an acre, and all other matters from the prior to descriptions apply, Madam Mayor, and it's before you for second and final reading.
Thank you very much. Here we go again.
So move. One more
Councilwoman
time.
Broll and
I'll second.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
No,
well.
I defer to you.
Councilman Girardeau second the motion. Comments from the public? Comments from council? All those in favor? Thank you. It's unanimous. The next item is second reading and public hearing of an ordinance to annex 1411 East Pine Log Road and zone it general business. Mr. Biedenberg.
Thank you. It is an ordinance to annex property located at 1411 East Pine Log Road and zone the same general business GB. It is about 4 9/100 of an acre, and the applicant is a church, and the requested zoning is consistent with surrounding uses and zoning. And the Planning Commission reviewed the request at their April 15th meeting. All present with the Planning Commission unanimously recommended annexing and zoning with the condition that it become effective after July 13th, 2025. And council approved this on first reading April 28th and approved it, unanimously, and is before you for second reading to annex it effective July 13th.
Thank you. So a motion for that, please.
I second.
Councilman Gregory made the motion and Councilwoman Diggs seconded the motion. Comments from the public? Comments from council?
The Broll streak is over.
You broke the luck.
Thank you.
Gail even with me.
Thank you. Motion passed unanimously. Not until after the fireworks time. The final item under old business is second reading and public hearing of an ordinance approving economic development incentives to Wellers Ridge, SC LLC, on property located between Doherty Road and Nielsen Street. Mr. Biedenbach.
Thank you. It is, Madam Mayor, it's an ordinance authorizing certain economic development incentives pursuant to ordinance number 08132018 of the City of Aiken Code of Ordinances for a project developed by Wellers Ridge, SC LLC, approving an economic development inducement and incentive agreement and other matters related thereto. This is a 60-unit workforce housing complex, $16.6 million investment to be completed in November of this year. 6 affordable rental units for families earning under 40% of the area's median income, with 47 units targeted at families under 60% of the income. It is capped at $70,000. The rebates, which represents less than 0.04% of the project investment. And council approved this on first reading and is before you for second reading this evening.
Thank you. Is there a motion to accept this?
So moved, Madam Mayor.
Councilwoman Price made the motion.
I will second.
And Councilwoman Gregory seconded the motion. Comments from the public? Comments from council? All those in favor? That's unanimous. Thank you. We now move to new business. The first item is first reading of an ordinance to set the millage rate for fiscal year 2025-2026. Mr. Beaver.
Thank you. It is an ordinance to provide for the levy of taxes for ordinary city purposes in the City of Aiken for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2025, set the millage at 60 mills and to provide for the expenditures thereof. In South Carolina, we have to have multiple actions as part of our budget process. The first is to set the millage rate, which is calculate the amount we calculate times assessed value to determine property tax assessments on each parcel in the City of Aiken. This millage is set at 60 mills. We have reviewed this with council. We've had 4 work sessions to discuss this. It is being recommended that the millage rate remain at 60 mills, which is the rate that was first set in 2021. The last increase in the millage rate was in 1989 when it was set at 120 mills. That was, by my math, 36 years ago. The millage rate has been lowered 7 times since 1989 from 120 mills to 60 mills, and it is before you for consideration this evening, Madam Mayor and Council.
Thank you so much. I'm asking for a motion from...
I so move, Madam Mayor.
Councilwoman Broll made the motion, and I need a second, please.
Second. Oh, go ahead.
No. Andrea.
Second from Councilman Gregory. She's looking. Thank you. Any comments from the public? Comments from council? All those in favor? It's unanimous. Thank you. Okay. The next item is first reading and public hearing of an ordinance to establish new charges for water and sewer service. Mr. Biedenbow.
I'll mention that in my comments. Thank you. This is an ordinance establishing new charges for water and sewer service. You have, council historically and continues to do so to this day to mandate that our staff operate our enterprise water and sewer utility as efficiently as possible. And we continually maintain and monitor our system, making repairs in-house when they were within our capacity and operating with the minimum number of employees is required. We have, council has assisted staff in our ability to operate efficiently, but there has been acknowledgement in recent years that the city's aging infrastructure needs investment to adequately serve our citizens. One primary example is the need to construct a new water plant, replacing our current plant, which went online in 1954. And additional upgrades and equipment replacements have been funded through the annual budget, allocations through 4 rounds of the capital project sales tax, borrowing from ourselves via interfund loans and issuing revenue bonds, and utilizing other external financial instruments when possible. We have periodically examined our rates, and at council's request, we updated our rate study earlier this year. After much deliberation, we are recommending rate increases since our water and sewer utility is an enterprise fund. It must be run as a self-supporting entity while meeting our customers' high but appropriate expectations. We continue to improve our water system. This would go towards system depreciation to allow for continued maintenance of our system and paying for these capital projects. This what we consider kind of our baseline residential user has a rate based on 800 cubic feet of water and sewer a month. Their bills would increase $5.01 per month. Many of our elderly and fixed income residents are billed at a rate less than 800 cubic feet, so their increase will be less than this amount. For example, users who use 400 cubic feet a month, which includes smaller households, would see their rates rise $3.28 a month, and users who live by themselves or may be on fixed incomes and closely monitor their usage and use 200 cubic feet a month would see their bills rise $2.46 a month. This rate increase also includes an increase in the base meter rate. I was asked by council at the work session how many people use how many different meters, and I want to thank the finance director, Ms. Rooks, for getting that information to me very quickly. Basically, what I will say is this. I won't read through all the different meter sizes, but there are 22,070 meters in the ground that register water usage in the city of Aiken, and 20,257 or 91.7% of our water meters are the 5/8 and 3/4 inch, which is the standard residential size. And then the 1 inch meter, which some residential properties have, we have 787 of those. And again, the larger meters, larger than 1 inch, are found in commercial. For example, we have 1 8-inch meter customer and 10 6-inch meter customers and on down. But I know that was requested, and we will certainly note this formally in writing in the next agenda packet. But I appreciate the finance director for getting that information to us. And again, we've heard several times from our rate study consultant, and council's made it very clear they would like to see this rate study updated about every 3 to 4 years. So we duly noted we did the rate study this year. So we will, unless council directs otherwise, look to have an updated rate study around 2028 or so. But this is before you for consideration at first reading this evening, Madam Mayor and Council.
Thank you so much. I need a motion, please, from one of my council members.
So moved.
Councilman Girardeau, and a second
Second.
from Councilwoman Price. Comments from the public? Comments from council? All those in favor? It's unanimous. Thank you. Now we will have first reading and public hearing of an ordinance to set the stormwater fee. Mr. Biedenbow.
Thank you. This is an ordinance amending the stormwater management utility fees. In 1992, the city of Aiken was the first municipality in the state of South Carolina to implement a stormwater fee. It is placed in an enterprise fund account and not commingled with other funds, namely the general fund, water and sewer, and other city funds. This is used to fund stormwater projects and maintenance of our stormwater system. Guided by council, our staff has been very judicious in the use of these funds, as indicated it by the fact that over 33 years, we have only increased the rate 3 times, in 2003, in 2015, and in 2019. But as our stormwater system ages, and also we're in a period of weather events like we've seen today seem to be happening more often, and with the growth of non-permeable surfaces, it is necessary to ensure that stormwater is properly disposed of in a manner that complies with state and federal regulations. We also did a rate study for this. Currently, we recommend the rate, which is billed at an equivalent residential unit of $7.90 per month. Council has asked that we look to stagger or tier the rate, because the benchmark goal to get our debt ratio to an appropriate level and to make sure we are able to generate sufficient revenue and fees to do these projects and continue maintenance. That optimal amount we want to get to is $11.10 per equivalent residential unit. Now, what does that mean? ERU, that's jargon, but essentially we look at a parcel that's approximately 1.25 acres, and between 10, if you live on a parcel that's 10,001 square feet up to 1.25 acres, and you would pay $7.90 per month, which is the vast majority of our residential units. If this increase were to go into effect, you would see your fee go up on your, and it is a line item on your monthly water bill. It would go from $7.90 to $9.09. Those residential owners who live on lots that are smaller than 10,000 square feet would pay $6.82 per month. Right now, they're paying $5.93. And as I said, funds derived from this increase would go to capital projects and system depreciation. So this is before council for first reading this evening, Madam Mayor and Council.
Thank you. Do I have a motion for this, please?
So moved.
Councilwoman Gregory made the motion.
I'll second.
A second from Councilman Girardeau. Any comments from the public on this matter? Comments from the council? All those in favor? It's unanimous. Thank you. Lastly is first reading and public hearing of an ordinance to adopt a budget for fiscal year 2025-2026. Mr. Biedenbow.
Thank you. This is an ordinance adopting a budget proposed by the city manager containing estimates of proposed revenues and expenditures by the city of Aiken for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2025 and ending June 30th, 2026, and declaring that it shall constitute the budget of the city of Aiken. And bear with me as I read this thankfully only one time. I submit the City of Aiken's annual budget for the fiscal year 2025-26, which will begin on July 1st, 2025. As we have reviewed with council at work sessions over the past 6 weeks, the presented budget reflects council's priority while maintaining a balanced budget without a millage increase. Each budget year, our dedicated city staff work to compile a budget for their department that ensures they can provide high-quality services, support their employees, and meet council's goal. I believe this budget continues our efforts to be financially conservative while ensuring Aiken is a desirable place to live and visit. While all department heads contribute to the budget, I would like to recognize the efforts of the Finance Department and City Manager's Office. Finance Director Kim Brooks and her staff ensure the budget is balanced while supporting the needs and requests of the various departments. Our team in the City Manager's Office, specifically Sarah Rideout, Lex Kirkland, and Mary Tilton, provide review support and scrutiny to help provide a robust budget that provides necessary expenses allocated in an efficient manner. I would be remiss if I did not mention the substantial impact of Hurricane Helene on the city of Aiken and our operations. I am proud that our conservative financial management allowed us to handle the unexpected expenses associated with the recovery from this natural disaster. I am also extremely proud of the way our staff rallied to help each other and the public to ensure Aiken recovered as quickly as possible. Our staff have done an exceptional job ensuring our expenses have been documented and submitted to FEMA for reimbursement in the coming months. The expected FEMA reimbursement will have an additional positive impact on our city budget in the coming fiscal years. I would like to highlight several aspects of the fiscal year 2025-26 budget. First, the city's general fund remains very stable, even with the unexpected and unbudgeted expenses caused by Hurricane Helene and the associated response, as well as the continued inflationary pressures and price increases. Our general fund is stable and allows us to present council with a balanced budget with no millage increase. The millage rate remains at 60 mills, unchanged, with no increase since fiscal year 1989-90, reflecting City Council's sound fiscal management. The City of Aiken continues to have a strong revenue projection with the value of a mill for fiscal year 2025-26 at $232,000, which is a 5% increase from last budget year. The city has a strong tax digest, and I expect that trend to continue because of Aiken's high quality of life and low cost of living. Each year at New Horizons, Council expresses their desire to support our Department of Public Safety. The budget continues to support their critical work in our community by funding the necessary equipment and personnel. This budget includes a continuation of the take-home car program for public safety, as well as the purchase of 2 new vehicles. We will evaluate when we do our budget carry forward amendment in late summer to determine if we can add additional vehicles. As council has reviewed the New Horizons in January and during multiple work sessions based on the council directed rate study, we are recommending an 8% water and sewer rate increase. We are also recommending our first stormwater rate increase since 2019 and only our 4th increase since the rate. The first of its kind in South Carolina was implemented in 1992. Many residential customers will see their monthly rate increase from $5.93 per month to $6.82. Others will see their monthly stormwater rate increase from $7.90 per month to $9.09. We recognize that rate increases are not ideal, but our citizens expect these enterprise funds to have revenue to adequately perform system maintenance and improvements to our water, sewer, and stormwater infrastructure. We are not recommending an increase in our solid waste fee, which was last increased in 2022. We would like to highlight other work funded through the 2025-26 budget to include continued work on the long-awaited and needed Powder House Connector, continued construction of our water plant scheduled to come online in early 2027. Our wonderful parks and recreation facilities will see upgrades similar to the outstanding work recommended by our citizens that was done at Smith Hazel's interior and exterior last fiscal year. The budget addresses our most important asset, our employees. We have budgeted a 2% cost of living increase for all employees and a potential 2% increase for those employees who have met job expectations as part of their annual evaluation conducted near the anniversary of their hire date. The fiscal year 2025-26 budget represents our dedication to adapting to the changing needs of our community while staying fiscally responsible. It aligns with council's priorities by supporting public safety, providing for our employees, investing in essential utility infrastructure, and supporting our parks and recreation programs. For council consideration is first reading and public hearing of an ordinance to adopt the fiscal year 2025-26 budget.
Thank you very much. Very good. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Councilwoman Gregory made the first motion. I need a second.
I will second.
Councilwoman Broll?
And I will thank our city manager,
Yes.
all of the staff. You followed when we met for New Horizons. You listened and you did exactly what we asked you to do, and that's all you can ask. And thank you very much.
Thank you. Any comments from the public? Any more comments from council? All those in favor? It's unanimous. Thank you. Motion passed. Or the ordinance passed. There are no petitions and requests this evening, so we will open the floor to public comments on non-agenda items. Comments are limited 3 minutes per speaker and for a total of 30 minutes.
Sam, you're on.
Sam? Good evening, sir. Thank you for sitting here. Okay, are there any items from Mr. Beanbo this evening?
I am going to yield. This is such good news. I would like Ms. Campbell to come tell you what she told me Friday, and take it away. It's really, really good.
So it's definitely exciting. No, our Smith Hazel pool, we are fully staffed prior to the season. Thanks to the changes y'all supported last summer leading into, we're super excited to have a full staff of 10 and be able to offer our swim lessons and open up on time this season. So
That's wonderful.
Does that mean we get the slide back?
No, no, that's Tallahassee. We didn't reclassify. We stayed where we needed to be.
We'll
We
take
did
it.
pass our inspection with our pool inspection.
We'll take it.
So.
All right, what do we need to do to get the slide back? For next year.
We would have to reclassify back to a different class pool, and then that requires more staffing of higher certifications.
Catch-22.
But go ahead. I was just going to say, council, you supported, as Jessica mentioned, we made a pay adjustment to make the position more attractive.
Right.
It's a competitive pay for that type of work, and again, we couldn't have done it without the support of the council.
Thank you.
Us having these conversations, and we were in a pickle. We were in a bad pickle, and it was devastating to all of us to think that, we had to cut back on hours, the scorching summer coming in, the pool being closed. We had just invested all this money, taxpayer money, into the pool, and that is just great news because that's always kind of like lived back here, and so thank you, because that's all your and your team's efforts. So appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
And Jessica, I'm especially glad to hear it. My daughter Simone, that lives in Raleigh, they opened their pool, their neighborhood pool, a week ago, and they had a big celebration, and a 10-year-old drowned that day. So that was a week ago. So his mother and little sister were there, and my youngest grandchildren, they all saw it.
Can definitely happen in the blink of an eye,
Yes.
but it's nice
That's
to have full staff
devastated.
this early. We get them trained, they go through
Right.
orientation, and they're super
Exactly.
prepared for the season.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jessica.
Mayor Milner went down the slide on the general park, so she has promised if we get the slide open in the pool, she'll go down the slide in the pool. So that's why I was asking. I mean, what do we need to do? I'll get behind it.
Mayor, he's put you on the spot.
Yeah, something like that.
That's all.
That's all. Okay, well, you all will join me at the pool,
that was
won't
a great
you?
way to finish.
Yes. We'll all do it.
Okay, I'm holding you to that. Thank you. Is there a motion to adjourn this meeting? Thank you. That would be Councilwoman Price made the motion, and Councilwoman Diggs seconded the motion to adjourn the meeting. All those in favor?
That's us.
It's unanimous. Thank you all very much. Good job.
Oh, thank you.